Welcome to the Clique podcast. I'm Dani Watson, a mindset and manifestation expert and founder of the Clique, a company that helps women overcome their fears and limiting beliefs to create a life and business that they love. Within this podcast, I will help you get clear on what you want, identify the blocks that are holding you back, transform your mindset and raise your vibration so that you can co-create magic with the universe. If you are looking to design a life that truly sets your soul on fire and manifest more success and abundance, then you are in the right place. Hello ladies, and welcome to this week's episode where I'm going to be diving into a topic about when we are in what I call the manifestation gap. So this is when you are in that state of waiting for your desires to manifest and why that gap exists. So you've let the universe know exactly what it is that you want. You've got clear on what it is that you want, the goals that you want to achieve. Maybe that's within your business, maybe that's financial goals. You've got really clear and specific and intentional about those goals. And you started to do the work to transform your beliefs and shifting any of those beliefs that don't align with those goals. And you've also started to do the work on raising your vibration. And you're then in this sort of waiting game where you basically are having to hand things over to the universe, trusting in the universe that your intentions, you've made your intentions clear, you've done the inner work, you're feeling aligned, and now you're just waiting for those desires to manifest. And you're giving all of your focus and all of your attention to what it is that you want, knowing that when you think about what it is that you're desiring, you're attracting it into your reality. Now, as soon as you start to do that inner work and start to align your thoughts with what it is that you want, unfortunately, it isn't the case that your desires just drop down from the sky. You know, as soon as you decide that, okay, I want to make $1 million, you don't just think that thought once and $1 million just drops into the sky. And I think for a lot of people, they struggle with the law of attraction because they struggle not with getting the clarity, not with, transforming their beliefs. They find that part okay. It's doing the inner work. That's fine. The thing that a lot of people really, really struggle with is this idea that they've then got to wait. They've then got to hand things over to the universe, surrender to the process, let go, and trust that the universe is going to give them exactly what they want at exactly the moment that they are meant to receive it. So it's this manifestation gap. Now, I want to remind you all, because when I was discussing that this week, I know that I've really struggled with this in the past before, when I thought, well, where are my things? Where's the things that I'm desiring? Why haven't they appeared yet? And it can sometimes get frustrating. And of course, the moment you get frustrated, the moment you get impatient, that is a negative thought, that is a negative feeling or a negative emotion. And what you are actually doing is you are creating resistance, and you are actually holding off your desires even longer than what is necessary. So this manifestation gap, what you actually need to do is you actually need to change your perception about this gap. And rather than seeing it as a negative thing, actually change the way you're perceiving this gap and recognize that the manifestation gap is there to serve you. Because if we think about things the other way, imagine if, let's say, for example, imagine if you thought one negative thought and all of a sudden that negative thought came to reality straight away. If we think about the opposite to be true, we wouldn't want that to happen. Let's say you were thinking to yourself, oh my God, I'm really scared I'm going to be broke. And then all of a sudden your money just completely disappears from your physical world. In those times, we are grateful that the manifestation gap exists, because once we recognize that we are in that pattern of negative thoughts, we have some time to change our thought patterns so that we can shift our thoughts into directing them to what we do want and away from what we don't want. We have time to change it all around. So that manifestation gap in those circumstances, it is there to serve you. And so it needs to exist. It needs to exist because negative thoughts are inevitable. To only ever be thinking positive thoughts is quite a lot of pressure to put on ourselves. Every now and again, we're going to get a negative thought that pops into our mind. And that is okay, because just because it's popped into our mind once doesn't mean it's just going to drop from the sky and we are going to experience that. We have this gap and it gives us that opportunity to turn things around. And whilst it might be a frustrating thing to experience this gap when we're waiting for something that we do want, the universe doesn't distinguish between what we do want and what we don't want. It's the same rules apply for both. When you think about something, you give it energy. The more energy you give to it, the quicker it appears in your life. So the manifestation gap, remember that it is there to serve you and that you do have to hand things over to the universe, trusting the process and not allowing that resistance to creep in by starting to get doubtful or fearful about whether the universe is paying attention. You have to keep yourself in that positive expectation that what you want is just around the corner. You have to be expecting that it could show up into your life at any given moment. Now, with regards to your thoughts, another sort of point actually on your thoughts and what you are actually thinking throughout the course of your day. So you all need to be intentional. Everybody needs to be intentional about what they are giving their thoughts to. What is commanding their thoughts on a daily basis, because remember, whatever we think about and focus on, we attract into our reality, the simple law of attraction. However, just because we've had one negative thought doesn't necessarily mean to say that we're going to start attracting all of these negative things into our life. And actually, to monitor your thoughts so closely, so scrupulously on a daily basis can actually be quite overwhelming. So whilst you do need to be mindful of your thoughts, what is far best that you give your attention to is not your thoughts, because we think a million different thoughts throughout the course of the day, but rather giving your attention to how you feel. So Abraham Hicks actually talks about this. She talks about the emotional guidance system, using your emotional guidance system to figure out whether you are in alignment or not. So rather than thinking about tracking your thoughts at every second of the day, just being intentional as to how you are feeling in any given moment, whether you're feeling good or whether you're feeling bad. And if you're feeling good, it means your thoughts are in alignment and you are on the process to creating what you want. You're going in the right direction to getting more of what you desire, the positive manifestations, the high vibe opportunities such as wealth, success, love. If your emotional guidance system is telling you actually something doesn't feel quite right here, it means your manifestations are going in the direction towards what you don't want, the low vibe manifestations, the low vibe frequency things. So pay attention to what your emotional guidance system is telling you. And when you recognize that you're at a place where you're not feeling good, that is the time then you want to be checking in on your thoughts. Okay, well, in this moment then, I'm not feeling good. What am I thinking about? What am I giving my attention to? And anything that you're giving your attention to in that moment, you know that that thing is not in alignment with your core desires. It's not in alignment with your inner being, the true essence of who you are. Because when we are connected to who we really are and what we really want, and we're thinking things that are in alignment with how we want to show up in the world, we're going to feel good. And anything that doesn't make us feel good means that we are not in alignment. And that is your cue to change your thought pattern. And what you do to change your thought pattern is entirely up to you. But you should have a ritual in place for whenever you feel yourself slipping out of alignment, a ritual that is your go-to ritual that makes you feel good. And that might be different for each and every one of you. For me, mine is taking myself somewhere quiet where I can just sit and actually connect with my desires through the process of meditation and self-visualization. basically, I always have my vision board to hand. So I actually have a physical one that I have at my house, but then I also have one on my phone as well. And I know that whenever I come back to that vision board that's on my phone and I look through some of the images and some of the things that I want to create and look at some of the things that I've already created, knowing that I'm in that forward momentum and getting myself excited for everything else that I've got to look forward to, that very, very quickly gets me back into alignment. But for other people, it might be just the meditation part. That might be all you need to actually get yourself back into alignment. It might be listening to music. It might be reading a book that really inspires you. It could be anything. It could be dancing, it could be yoga or some other form of exercise. Whatever gets you back into that place of feeling amazing, you need to have that go-to ritual, and you need to give yourself the space to go back to that ritual at any point that you need it. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. Let me know if you've got any questions about that. Come and say hello, Dani_Watson_coaching. I would absolutely love to connect with you over on Instagram. So yeah, feel free to come and say hello over on Instagram. And yes, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, ladies, and I will catch you on the next episode. If you're wanting to build your own successful online coaching business, make sure to check out Freedom, Abundance and Impact, our free 10-day business and mindset course for coaches and aspiring coaches. To access, simply head to wearetheclique.com and click free course in the menu.